All right, midweek update, and we're making a few strategic reversals from yesterday after watching ownership settle and revisiting matchup context and the news cycle. At quarterback, we're moving back to Josh Allen at 7,700 with a dash rank of 100. Yesterday, we pivoted to Lamar for leverage, but Allen's projection at 25 is rock solid for a quarterback with more than 3 starts, and he draws Cincinnati, who have one of the worst defenses overall by opponent rank at 31. Ownership at 23-37% is fair for his ceiling, and the recent 18-10-48 game log reminds us the volatility cuts both ways in tournaments. The news backs the play too. Bills outlets highlighted Allen's latest milestone and the team's historic note heading into this matchup after his 76th career rushing touchdown, passing Cam Newton, which signals continued red zone rushing equity. The league also put the Cam Hayward dust up to bed, so no impact on availability. Given the favorable overall matchup and bankable projection, we're fine eating some ownership and pairing him with our flex today. At running back, we're holding Devon Chain at 8,800 with a dash rank of 100. The Jets have one of the worst defenses overall by opponent rank. At 24, he's projected for 21 with 22 fantasy points per game, and he's delivered 22, 25, and 44 in his last 3. Projected ownership around 19.1% is deserved. The trade deadline reporting that multiple teams inquired about a chain reinforces league-wide confidence in his profile and role. Nothing has changed to move us off elite efficiency in a favorable overall matchup. At wide receiver, we're pivoting off yesterday's Justin Jefferson stance and moving to Chris Olave at 6,500 with a dash rank of 100. Tampa Bay have one of the worst defenses overall by opponent rank at 26. Olave projects for 15 with 15 fantasy points per game and has put up 15, 16, and 24 in his last 3, yet ownership is sitting at just 7.93%. He is listed as questionable, so we'll monitor, but the news helps the target thesis. With Rashid Shaheed reportedly dealt to Seattle and Olave publicly reaffirming his commitment to New Orleans, the path to consolidated volume is clear if he's active. This is a classic midweek leverage shift to a WR1 in a favorable overall matchup at modest ownership. At tight end, we're pivoting from Trey McBride to Tyler Warren at 5,000 with a dash rank of 100. Jacksonville have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall by opponent rank at 12. Warren projects for 12 with 13 fantasy points per game and has posted 11, 10, and 18 in his last 3. Ownership at 16.9% is reasonable for his expanding role. The news flow around him has been positive. The league fined Kansas City's Trent McDuffie for a face mask on Warren earlier this season, and local coverage keeps highlighting the rookie class, with veterans like Jonathan Taylor publicly pushing Warren's competitive edge. We're taking the balanced price-volume combination over paying up into a tougher overall matchup. For the flex, we're reversing yesterday's decorrelation move and going back to James Cook at 7,800 with a dash rank of 100. Cincinnati have one of the worst defenses overall by opponent rank at 31. Cook's projected for 19 with 21 fantasy points per game and has delivered 23, 25, and 20 in his last 3. The kicker is ownership at just 3.63%, which gives us leverage within the Bills stack. News has been bullish too, with recent pieces flatly stating he's currently one of the best running backs in the NFL. If the field is heavier on Allen's pass catchers, we're happy to capture Buffalo's touchdowns on the ground at low ownership. On defense, we're off yesterday's Rams and onto the Broncos at 3,900 with a dash rank of 100. The Raiders have one of the worst defenses overall by opponent rank at 30, and projected points sit at 9 with ownership at 5.23%. We prefer this spot for its price-adjusted ceiling and the manageable ownership compared to chalkier options. Quick value pool update. QB Tyler Show at 4,600 with a dash rank of 100. Tampa Bay have one of the worst defenses overall by opponent rank at 26. He's projected for 14, with 11 fantasy points per game, and a recent 19-10-19 run, and he's about 6.67% owned. The Saints named him QB1 per multiple reports, with Alvin Kamara noting the shift, but projections are less reliable for quarterbacks who have not started at least 3 games. He's a salary release in large field builds. RB Ray Davis at 4,100 with a dash rank of 100. Cincinnati have one of the worst defenses overall by opponent rank at 31. He put up 6, 6, and 0 in his last 3 and serves as a deep punt only. Correlates loosely with Bills' onslaught builds if you're spreading an MME. WR Devon Bell at 3,700 with a dash rank of 100. Tampa Bay have one of the worst defenses overall by opponent rank at 26. Ownership about 5.5% with a recent 23-7-3. Viable pairing with Show if Olave's status turns south or you need cap relief in Saint stacks. T. Josh Oliver at 2,500 with a dash rank of 35. Washington have one of the worst defenses overall by opponent rank at 30. He's a pure punt to unlock studs. You're betting on a red zone look. Flex Reggie Gilliam at 4,000 with a dash rank of 41. Cincinnati have one of the worst defenses overall by opponent rank at 31. Hyper-thin MME dart for unique Allen lineups where you're betting on a gadget goal line package. Use sparingly. Def Jets at 2,500 with a dash rank of 43. Miami have one of the worst defenses overall by opponent rank at 25. At 1.6% ownership, this is pure salary relief where you're betting on variance and short fields at a low tag. To summarize changes from yesterday's video, we are back on Josh Allen for ceiling plus a favorable overall matchup and supportive news. We are pivoting off Justin Jefferson to leverage Chris Olave's low ownership against one of the worst defenses overall with the Shaheed trade context, boosting his path to targets, if active. We are sliding from Trey McBride to Tyler Warren for price-adjusted volume in a middle-of-the-pack overall matchup. We are returning to James Cook in the flex to correlate with Allen at very low ownership. And we are moving defense from the Rams to the Broncos for a fresher angle at modest ownership. We're holding Devon Achane because his projection, role, and favorable overall matchup remain intact, and deadline reporting still supports his elite profile. We'll monitor Olave's status through final injury reports and update if anything materially shifts.